Right. So Shia, tell me, you've been fairly, you're still at a very nascent age in your life, and while most people who are just, coming, entering their 20s, they aspire to become, in India at least, doctors, engineers, and business students, etc. Tell me, what inspired you to get into the Indian rap game?
I mean, honestly, this might sound very cheesy, but ever since I was a kid, like for as long as I can remember, I knew that I was meant for the stage. Like, I have my fondest childhood memories are me sitting in my room, literally with a toothbrush as a mic, and I'm sure a lot of people have done that. But I don't think there's anything in this world that makes me happier than singing and rapping, and I feel like that's who I am. Like, I identify myself as that.
Right. So when you spit your bars, I mean, your music is amazing, by the way. And it's quite unique and has its own sound and footing as well
Okay,
in the
thanks.
scene, right? Very authentic. But usually when we talk about the rap culture, the street culture, it has emerged from a lot of. There's a little bit of obscenity. Of course, there is an expression of that particular art form, right? There is a lot of execution. There's a lot of, it's a very rebellious form of art, if I may say.
Yeah.
So, what about that particular art form did you, that you think you resonated with the most, that would want you to go out on stage and, spit bars?
So the thing with me is that I love playing with rhythm. So for me, it was like more about experimenting with sound. I didn't particularly look into rap as kind of like I'm gonna sound a certain way, say certain things to look cool. For me, it was more of an exploration of myself and what I want to say.
Alright.
And this thing you spoke about, like majority of rappers or majority of rap is obscene or it's rebellious or it talks about certain issues like cultural issues or it comes from a certain area.
Sure.
That I think there's this whole idea of herd mentality when it comes to music. Like, if a certain sound is working, people perceive the sound to be that way. They perceive rap to be something that has to be about I don't know, a certain theme or a topic. But I guess over time rap has become a little bit wide in terms of what you can talk about, what kind of music you want to make.
Sure.
And I'm on that spectrum where, like, I just want to make music that relates to people, relates to me, gives a feel good, and I don't want to restrict myself to any sort of particular theme. And like, for example, you have rappers talking about a certain area. Like, let's say I have like this friend who's an Adivasi rapper.
Oh,
Her
wow.
name is Mahiji. Yeah, so that's her sound. She talks about where she comes from, which is great. And all her songs are about the environment, what they're going through. Then we have rappers from the hood, like from the gully, and they talk about their struggle. And that's because that's who they are, right?
Sure.
And for me, it's like, bro, I don't know, I'm still figuring it out, but I just want to treat music like music. I don't want to categorize it as rap.
You don't want to get caught up in, the cliches and the stereotypes of
Yeah,
the culture.
yeah.
But it's more about the music. if I'm getting
It
you
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
You summed it up.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So since we talk about music, right? What was that? Do you remember being a young girl who's just gotten into rapping? And what was that one instance that that would, if you could remember, take a walk down memory lane, that marked the metamorphosis of Miss Arshia Saxena, from Miss Arshia Saxena to, well, who we today popularly know as Shia OG.
So, I mean, Arshiya's who I am, and Shia OG is just like a branded version of me, right?
Right.
So, it's like Shia OG is just a brand I'm trying to create, and I feel like that applies to every artist. Like, when you are making and putting yourself out there as an artist, you have to create a brand. So, Shia OG is my brand, it's not who I am, and that's how people identify me. And like, that's a very, if you look at a person, they have so many complexities to them. I am not Shia OG at home, but on stage I'm Shia OG.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just the brand I've created for myself. And
That's pretty cool and very insightful as well. I think artists like Lady Gaga, if you go to see, her stage persona is so completely different from, I think, how she is as a person. In reality, she's so grounded.
Yeah.
Whereas when it comes to, so tell us a little bit about how Arshia is at home and how she's different from say Shia, the original gangster?
So, like, as an individual at home, I'm like, if you come see me at home without my get-up, without my makeup, in my element, I'm just like this little emo, kind of depressed, contemplating life person who's constantly introspecting, who's not always like happy-go-lucky. I'm like, oh, I love myself, I'm on my fly shit kind of a person. So it's kind of like an alter ego when it comes to Shia. Like, she has like this completely unapologetic, like, fuck you vibe, which is great, I guess, because I get...
It is real.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like best of both worlds. Like, again, like I said, people are complex, right? Like, you have both aspects to you. So it's like I'm exploring myself in different ways. And a lot of my music has my upbringing in it, my thought process in it. And I'm still figuring it out, bro. Like,
it's very wholesome. So, you know what I mean? So, in a way, Shia OG is helping you explore different sides to you that you didn't even know existed. Right? And
yeah, I mean, you could say it like that.
yeah, you know, gangster, right? Shia
Bro,
OG.
every song you make, I feel every song I make, I can't generalize this, I find discover a new aspect about myself. And like, because again, it's like writing a journal, okay? Like when you start thinking, then your mind starts going into different directions. So you open a channel of sorts and you start going into that zone. So it's like, I think it's a creative process and people use different methods to get there. But for me, it's like, yeah, making music, it's more of an internal experience and I'm sure people can relate to that. So, yeah.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think it's very audacious of someone to take the stage, like you said, that you love the stage, and embrace a persona that you don't usually otherwise identify with. So I think it takes courage, and you're very brazen and audacious to be doing that. I know that I might not have the courage to be able to do what you do, so kudos for that. And the music is, of course, over the top and mind blowing. So love the sound of that.
I love that you said over the top, yeah, but tip of the iceberg, bro.
Why not over the top?
Yeah,
I mean,
bro, like
it's hip-hop. It should be
definitely,
over the
yeah,
top, right?
yeah,
If
for
I'm not
sure.
mistaken.
I don't like to do it simple, bro. If I do it, I give it my 100%. And a lot of people come to me. I have my sound for sure, but I think a lot of people see me for like the character I'm creating, the style I have, the way I speak, or whatever. So I guess that also comes when you are putting yourself out there as an artist. The sound matters for sure. Like that's primary, but again, it's about creating yourself as a brand.
Yeah.
Bro, like look at Doja Cat. Fuck, if I look at her without makeup in her element and I see her when she's made this persona, it's like two completely different people.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was a kid, I used to watch Hannah Montana, best of both worlds, and now I'm literally living it kind of.
Now you're just gangster.
Yeah, bro,
Wow.
I guess, yeah, that's just like my inherent undercurrent of me just like being nonchalant and fuckless of our life. So that's not, I guess that comes up.
Nonchalant is a shit. It's a way to go about life.
I don't know, I wouldn't recommend that, but you know, if you don't, the best things that have ever happened to me is when I've not ever been attached to the outcome.
Yeah.
Because if I don't give a shit and I just do it for the love of it, it always works out, bro. Because the second we start attaching ourselves, like, bro, I want to be there, I want to be this, I want to be that. You know who you are, you know what you want. Just do it with the love of it, and that usually works out. And I've met artists also who've made it, and they usually say the same thing. Like, you know, I put out my music, I didn't attach myself to the outcome, and it worked out. And I guess that's also linked to your manifestation philosophy, right? Don't attach yourself to the outcome. So yeah, I believe in manifestation, bro, and I've seen people do mad shit with it. Like they literally say something and then within the hour that has happened, I've witnessed that and it's uncanny, bro. But
Shia
yeah,
OG being so nonchalant and manifesting is
spiritual,
the vibe,
yeah, I
spiritual.
guess.
Right, music is in a way very, helps you connect with oneself, which I feel in my books that I define that as well-being, spirituality.
100%.
Speaking of nonchalant, I see our director, Mr. Desai, just throwing such nonchalant gestures trying to sabotage this, what, podcast?
Hello.
But it's okay, he gets to do it, he's a director, man, like, don't fire us. Alright, cool. So, I think it's been like a couple of years since you opened for, G Eazy when he was here in Mumbai. Tell me, what was that first big performance opening act for like someone like G Eazy? What emotions were you experiencing before your performance, when you were on stage, and after, like, were you overwhelmed, or tell us about it? How did that go, and how did that come about?
I I mean, it was a win for me. I was pretty excited. I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. It just happened. And the funny thing was, I reached out to Sunburn, and these guys were like, "Yeah, we can pitch you to G Eazy's team, but it's up to them." And then when they came back to me, and I got this on my own. Like, I was signed to a label, but most of the shit that I've gotten so far is because I've gone out there and reached out to the organizers. So I straight up went to Sunburn. I was like, "Yo, consider me," and they were like, "We can't
The hustle
guarantee
culture,
it."
yeah?
Yeah, they couldn't guarantee it. They're like, "It's up to G's team."
Oh, pretty cool, yeah.
So then when they said, oh, they really liked our sound, because I sent them a whole bunch of demos that I was working on, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, like, fuck yeah. Like, it just gave me that reassurance that I would need, or any artist would need, that they're on the right track. So for me, when I went on stage, it just felt like home. I'm not trying to be cocky, but it was just like, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And obviously I was nervous initially, but when I was on stage, I just felt like myself. And I think that's the one place that I would want to be at, or be as much as I could. So yeah.
Shia OG, the go-getter. I mean, did you happen to, like, you know, I mean, did you and G Eazy spend some time together chilling backstage, or was it like the schedules were too tight or something?
No, I mean, we're talking about G Eazy. I had like a very brief interaction with him.
Lucky girl.
Hi, hello.
Youngster.
But yeah, I mean, I like to, like, I have my idols. G Eazy is an idol. I think all of us been on one of the first few tracks that we heard in rap. But I think this milestone is something that helped me move forward as an artist. It's
Definitely
just
catapulted you to, like,
yeah, it gives you that, like, every time you're doing something, you need that little win to tell you, okay, you know what, keep doing it, because you need those signs. So for me, it was a sign that, okay, you know what, keep doing it.
manifesting, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
I'm
man.
telling you. But easier said than done, bro. You need to be completely
A go-getter.
fearless, doubtless, which is easier said than done, bro. But yeah, fuck it. That's the advice I give everyone. Fuck
Awesome,
it.
awesome. I was actually gonna ask you what
Lol.
your philosophy that you live by, but yeah, I'm taking notes as you're answering these questions, and yeah, maybe it'll help do me some good in life too.
Yes.
Right. So now that you've headlined, I mean, you've opened for
Yeah, of
G
course
Eazy.
I've headlined.
Now, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know, I headlined Coachella. I was at Rolling Loud. I'm sorry.
That brings me to my next question, which is, now that you've been catapulted into the next league, are you planning any headlining acts? Anything that your fans should be looking out for, our listeners? Any stages that you aspire to be performing on? Or any sneak peeks that you might want to give, and your management has told you strictly not to let anyone know about it? Be my guest.
The other day I met Playboy Carti, and you know what he said to me?
What?
That's
What
his
was that?
ad lib. Oh my god, you need to listen to Carti to know this. Carti fans would know what I'm talking about. But anyway, jokes apart, I am performing at NH7 in March, so that's
Wow.
cool. It's
That's
like,
pretty cool.
yeah, so this time I'm going to do things differently. Every time I do play a show, I always end up changing my set list and putting new music out there. But this time I'm going to try and drop as much as I can, so when people come, they actually know the songs.
Yeah, the
You know?
original content you're dropping, right? Most
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, definitely. Very excited. I'm dropping a song with this guy called Kill Switch from MTV Hustle.
Okay.
So I was there at the boot camp actually last year with Mahi ji. That's how I met her. And literally we were there for a month, and they trained us. Our songs were ready. We performed it. And 1 week before the actual event, they told me and Mahi, yo, listen, it's not working out. And I mean, at the back of my head, I was a little relieved because I wasn't completely like vibing out
Psyched
there.
about it, yeah. For
No,
sure.
I wasn't excited to be. I mean, yeah, it's a big opportunity, MTV Hustle, whatever. But they told me that, okay, you know what, listen, try again next year. But they kept me in the boot camp. And then 1 week before the show, they got this amazing artist called Fo.
Okay.
And I don't know, I felt like this
I mean-
was chauvinism epitome, because this girl comes in and all the other guys have like 1 month to prepare their songs, learn it, perform it, and they expect this only single soul woman to be on the show 1 week before and compete with all these men with 1 week's of preparation. And I think that's a little unfair.
Right, I mean, you win some, you lose some, right? But that's a part of life, which will bring me to my next question as we move on. All right, so speaking about your performances, I think after that, you've also happened to meet, had the privilege to connect with Sir A.R. Rahman, and you all spoke quite a bit about music, and I think you were something to do with Nexa Music Festival and Hot Artist Picks. Tell us, how was that experience? Like, what happened there? Give us a sneak peek into that conversation.
Well, that was pretty uncanny because I got 2 projects with him in the same year and I didn't see that coming. The first time was good enough for me. It was a competition, right? Nexa Music Experience. So they selected a bunch of 30 artists across India. And I was pretty happy to be on that. So I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, I've met him, I've been blessed. Then, Papa say, I got to meet him for this JBL Music Academy thing. So that was again a competition, right? But the second time, I had a more intimate interaction with him where we could sit on a roundtable conference, speak with him, and I could actually I got this insight into his mindset. And what was the most profound thing he said was that, and I think I've imbibed that philosophy now, is that when you make music, it doesn't matter how good or bad you are, but if it's coming from an honest place, from the soul, it will resonate with people. And because his simple thing was like, okay, there are a bunch of amazing singers out there. There are a bunch of people who make really great music, but why is it that one particular person does so well, and why is it that certain sounds do well as opposed to others? And his reply to that was that this person who's making the sound believes in it, it's coming from the soul, and that's why it resonates the most, and that's why it comes out. So yeah, he did give me, I think he is a very spiritual person, and besides being completely technical and amazingly knowledgeable about what he does, I think he has this understanding of music beyond just the technicalities of it.
Wow.
So yeah, I guess fakir hai wo.
That would have been quite the experience. I can only imagine what kind of an experience or conversation that would have been. So yeah, kudos to you for that. Yeah, it's a big deal. So A.R. Rahman, not a lot of artists have the privilege to be even interacting, and you got a one-to-one interaction with him. So it's pretty cool. Hey, that makes me think that we are having one-to-one conversation right now. Makes me feel important. So thank you for that.
5-6 years down the line, we're gonna look back on this and be like, yo. I was talking to Shia OG. Sorry, I don't want to be cocky. But you have to be a little cocky, man.
Why not? Yeah, gotta be a little. It looks good on you, so all good. Alright. Alright. The gestures. Okay. So if I notice your music, you've had a very prominent visual language to every single release that you've had. Almost every single release that you've had, you've gone ahead and created great content for tracks like Dinero, Shia Bia, etc. So from an artist point of view, how important do you think it is for an independent artist to have their prominent visual language as an artist, especially because there's a constant debate of late on social media, which says that where artists are debating that where artists are not well content creators, right? So how important do you think visual content is when it comes to making music or for your music? What is your take on that?
So when it comes to making content, I think it's a subjective thing, right? Like, I could choose to just make a reel on Instagram and that would work in my favor. But I guess it depends on the person. Like, tomorrow I want to be perceived in a certain way, and I have a certain standard for the kind of visuals I want to put out. So I try to match that standard, and it's a very personal choice that I have. That, okay, I like putting out this kind of content, and this agrees with the standard that I've set for myself.
Right.
I don't think everyone needs to necessarily follow the same standard. There's no hard and fast rule with music. There never is, as long as you do what you like, what agrees with you, and you think that whatever, like, you need to trust your instinct. So for me, it's like, I just like putting quality content out there, and that's something that is what I like, something that I like doing.
Fair enough. But do you think the audience is more receptive to when there is visual content out there? It helps the song to reach out to more people, or helps the music to have a certain selling point of view angle for that particular song or track or an album, right? So it's almost like storytelling, right?
Yeah. So again, like, I could have like a really rundown or like a bad VHS tape, okay? Like, it's not a 4K video, but if my concept goes with it, if I'm trying to create a storyline which goes with that kind of a visual, it'll work. But if I'm trying to talk about flexing or talk about like so rich character energy or main character energy, then again it needs to make sense. So I don't have to have high quality content if my story doesn't match with that.
Sure.
So bottom line is that it needs to communicate effectively, right? So it needs to relate, be relatable. The person needs to understand it without putting too much effort. Again, I could be giving all this gyan, but at the top of my head, I feel like if the audience relates to it, if they're able to understand it, that should really do the trick. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, yeah. I feel what you're saying. So let me ask you, like, who conceptualizes these videos and writes the scripts for them? Is it your in-house team right now? You're independent as an artist, right? So you know, do you do all of those things by yourself? Because if that is the case, I mean, kudos, like,
no, for sure. Like,
applause.
I love expressing myself through my music and the way I dress and the way I talk and the visuals I have, right? So all the styling, mood boarding, locations, everything is what I do. But again, it's a team effort, and I got lucky that I came across some great video editors and great shooters and cinemats. Anyways, no. But yeah, it's a team effort, dude.
Mr. Desai, Mr. Director.
It's a team effort. Like, everyone plays a massive role in the outcome, and if the person really loves what they're doing, it shows in the output, right? Like, my editor is enjoying the edit, cutting it as per the beat, choosing the visuals he likes, and just exploring like the art through the visuals. I think visuals play a big role too, because tomorrow you need a medium to put your music out, right? Like, yeah, I could put a cover art and some visualizer, but it's a means which,
it's
again,
like storytelling, of course. It's always been.
Like even Hanuman Kind, like he went viral because his visuals were so good, and that's how the song was great. But it reached the people through the visuals.
I think on screen his swag is just so eternal in nature.
Good. I've seen it. So when I started, when I was initially like a couple years back, we used to do gigs. So I did this one intimate gig in Veranda. Hanuman was also part of the lineup.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
wow.
This was before he blew up, and what struck me the most was his aura. Like when he went on stage, it was just magnetic. Like he could just like grasp the audience and talk to them with so much confidence. And I feel like that's something every artist needs to imbibe, is that confidence and knowing yourself and knowing that what you're doing is the shit. Like I've seen people who make it have that fearlessness, and I think that's essential. And yeah, and now he's just being himself. It was just a matter of time for him to get that one hit. So yeah.
So awesome, yeah. So you've, I think, so speaking about collabs, and since you mentioned Hanuman Kind, is it? Hanuman Kind, yeah, of course. So speaking of creative collaborations, I think you've done a couple of singles where you've done English and Hindi raps as well, where you've collaborated with numerous rappers. One of them, I think, was Irfana Hamid.
Yeah, Irfana was the one.
Yeah, that was. I saw that video, by the way. It was
it
was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was a while back, and that was kind of like a rush thing, but we did it. It was fun. I liked her vibe. She liked my vibe. We met. We did the song. It was a pretty quick collaboration. That same thing happened with Niam, right? Like. The aesthetic that we have, the sound that we have, it clicked. So I took these songs out. But I believe that we need to keep doing this kind of stuff, right? Like, so I'm gonna keep doing
creative collaboration. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So so coming to that point, of course, is that my question is that when you're rapping in 2 languages and you're collaborating with rappers from across the spectrum in more than 1 language, how is the creative process different? Is there any difference when it comes to writing, bars in English as compared to having a certain creative ensemble where you're writing and collaborating with Hindi rappers?
Yeah, so if you listen to my English songs, there's a lot more complexity, and that's the point where I get to be a little clever and witty with my poetic elements. Like I'll add a lot of alliteration, a lot of puns, a lot of like double meanings on that, because again, that's my first language. But when it comes to Hindi, it's just pure fun for me, right? Like that's when I can just put out music that I enjoy. You don't have to think too much about it. Like my song has a song on Magical. Suck My Dick. And it's
Oh.
like, I literally had no expectations from that song. And
Obscene content.
yeah, I mean, I kind of regret making that song with her. But again, it was just me having fun. And also, it's like, okay, I'm doing Hindi and I'm from Bombay. And this is the Hindi I know. And I just want to normalize it that ठीक है जैसे भी मैं बोलती हूँ हिंदी मेरा तरीका है
No,
मैं
but
कर रही हूँ
it's pretty darn good, yeah. आपकी
सही
हिंदी
है।
काफी बढ़िया है, मतलब आपकी भाष
आप
में
ऐसे बोल
हिंदी
रहे
है।
हो भाई इतने लोग आके बोलते हैं साउथ बॉम्बे वाली हिंदी बोल रही है इतने रील्स बनते हैं इतने मजाक कराते हैं लेकिन है तो
The
है
stereotype.
ऐसा
But
हाँ
I don't
यार।
think you fall under that typical stereotype. Or if you used to, I think you've just outdone yourself and yeah.
No bro, like I think
You want to play us, later on I'm going to ask you to play us one of your tracks where you have a Hindi bar
I do
verse or something.
I have an entire verse. I did this song which is English and Hindi both
Okay.
but the main hook is Hindi. It's called Bharosa Bharosa.
Okay. You want to be my guest?
Yeah sure, let me send it to you.
So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about your relationship with your producer and the DJ that you have for your live performances. Zero Chill, by the way, he's a cutting edge, music producer. So technically sound and, he has very intricate, sense when it comes to making or composing music for your tracks. So how did that relationship come about? How did you guys meet and how did it fruition into what it is today?
So we met at a gig. He was DJing with me, and he saw me. I was a rapper. He was a producer. He started sending me his music, and you know how love at first sight for me. This is gonna be cringe as hell, but there was love at first sound, dude. The second I heard his music, I just knew there's something about him, and I just believed. I didn't even believe. I just knew it because his sound is so good, and that's something you can't teach. I feel like that's something that is inherent, and he has it. I mean, I could be a little biased here, but I think he's the best producer in the country.
Wow.
No,
yeah.
I think he is.
He's really darn good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think that's your belief in your,
Yeah, and everyone's amazing. I'm not saying like
But
the
that's-
other players aren't good, but he's good
as
at
you
his
should
sound.
have. Yeah.
He's
Sorry.
good at what he does. Also, I love him.
Sure.
He's the best.
All right.
My hotspot
Literally, yeah.
password is Robin is the best. We call him Robin.
Okay.
But yeah, every time someone asks me for my password, I'm like, Robin is the best. That's
She just dropped her password. This is not your
This is my hotspot
social security
password,
password,
dude.
right?
Yeah, no, guys. You can try logging into my Instagram with this.
Okay,
I dare
I'll
you.
try. So, as we can see, a lot of rappers, Indian rappers, yeah, they're exploring the commercial music space as well, which in our country is well Bollywood. Do you see yourself as someone in the future who would want to explore, say, Bollywood music in a creative collaboration? I mean, we've seen Hanuman kind come up with music for Dhurandhar.
Yeah.
We've seen Divine come up with I think there was a show with on OTT with Saif Ali Khan, where Divine it's Kaam 25. That track of his was predominantly curated and composed for that particular OTT. So in the years to come and the time to come, do you see yourself exploring the commercial side of for yourself, for your music, and have collaborations with artists in the Bollywood industry, from the Bollywood industry?
Yeah, bro, 100%. If there's an opportunity, you take it because it's a beautiful way for you to reach out to the Indian audience. And again, people might perceive Bollywood to be like this completely commercial, cringy sound. It is, but I feel like that's changing gradually. Like Hanuman kind, he just reworked the thumbs up anthem, right? So I think now music, even Bollywood music, is growing. They're open to changing the sound.
Right.
So yeah.
Exploring newer genres, rap.
Yeah,
artists
dude. So I feel like, yeah, definitely, 10,000%.
If I'm not mistaken, you did some work for Call Me Bay as well, right?
Yeah, so I have had experience with working with Dharma. So I did 2 songs with Call Me Bay, and it was pretty fun actually. But yeah, I've done it. I'm doing another movie with Imran Hashmi.
Oh,
He's
wow.
coming, but I wouldn't NDA. So,
All right.
but yeah, see, I would do it for sure. Why not?
Cool. We'll be looking out.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be looking out for your music and looking forward to the movies, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's just a great way to promote even the films per se.
Yeah, dude.
And Imran Hashmi is one guy who's just been blessed with, all his songs are super hits and
Hey.
cult classics. So yeah,
Inshallah, bro.
really looking forward to
Shia
what you guys
OG
come up with.
classic cult fan base. Let's go. Where are my OGs at?
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Indian rap culture per se. The independent rap culture and the hip hop culture that prevails in India. What would be your take on it?
I mean, it's obvious, right? Like right now, the whole wave is hip hop because a lot of these artists are doing massive stuff. Like Sidhe Moth is working with Smino. We have Hanuman Kind. We have players like Krishna. We have players like Rebel who are going on that international platform. And I think hip hop is what's taking us to that level now. And yeah, there is a lot of stuff that needs to improve in terms of how professional the music industry is. Because I feel like it's new. We don't have a lot of structure in the industry. I guess
Because
legally.
I think it's also because it's a very nascent, still a very, for India at least, it's just started embracing hip hop, don't you think?
But forget hip hop. Okay, I'm just talking about
Like rap,
artists.
not hip hop per se, but like
Yeah,
hardcore
same
rap,
thing.
rap.
Yeah, but
independent rap.
I feel like artists could be earning more from their streams. They could be, financially we could all be doing a little better. I see that in the future we might, and it goes hand in hand. It's not just the artists, it's the entire industry. So all the players, from the organizers to the videographers to the even the b-boys and the because I feel like with
Yeah.
hip hop it's not just
Correct.
being
You
a
have to be
rapper.
inclusive of all
You have
those.
to. I'm talking about the producers. I'm talking about the dancers. I'm talking about
Nice.
the entire space, because hip hop is not just rap, right? It's an entire culture that is being formed, and it's beautiful. But it's growing for sure. I just hope and wish that it becomes a little bit more structured and professional, and people treat it like the business it is.
Right, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Notes taken down. So, Shia, just who have been your constant hip hop inspirations or your favorite rap artists of all time?
Dude, I love Doja Cat. I mean, I think you could probably see her influence in my music, but I love the way she blends her melodies with the rap, and I think she's my idol. After which I love JID. I just love him because he's like a lyrical god, and the way he plays with his syllables and the way he just like is so clear. There's a lot to learn from him. And other than that, I think Tiana's from our scene.
The Indian scene, yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's an amazing rapper, dude. Like, and he sings so beautifully. So these guys are amazing, for sure. And Shia OG.
And Shia OG.
No, my
Of
God,
course.
cut that. Don't use that.
We're not cutting that. That's good, yeah, of course. Gonna have. I like your music. Yeah, it's good music.
You gotta love your own music, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Shia, since you've taken out the time to come and meet us, I think we deserve certain privileges.
Okay, what?
Can we have you rap to any one of your verses, live for us right here, right
Yeah,
now?
dude, I would love to. That's what I do. That's what I live for. Chal, okay. Let's
Alright.
pull up a beat
Woo!
from YouTube.
All right.
लगाते हैं भाई. Let's find.
Director साहब, can we do that?
बजा
This is
दो.
not the beat. This is not the beat. All right.
And guys, okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is a famous YouTube beat. Let's go. Look, yeah, they wanna see me fail, but they never will. They the petty people that feed off another taking L's. Bitch, I'm a
Alright.
rapper who happens to sing it like a dough. Rolling in the seats on the tables, I'll show you hell. Yeah, they think I'm showing off. Might have had a better source at the core, so you looking like a cover rapper. Of course, you bitches getting me nauseous, cause your raps are plagiaristic and pretty preposterous. I'm on a grown-up trajectory, I ain't letting it get with me. I'ma spit it like a ratapato. They isn't ready for talent, testing traditions, but try to listen to alliterations in my tone. But gonna be like a bitch, you bitch, you better believe it, but I'm the best of the syllable damage of my old man, party. You doing this thing now, it's like my life. Happy I'm a share with a little narcos, yeah. Hey.
Hey! Wow, that was cool. That was
Thanks.
pretty cool.
Okay, one take, let's go.
As we come to the end of this podcast, thank you so much, Ms. Shia, for taking out the time.
Thank you, bro, for having
Thank
me.
you so much for this lovely conversation on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Before you go, I would also, for us also and for our listeners, if you could give us a sneak peek into one of your upcoming tracks, we would be obliged and
That would be my
you feel
honor.
special.
Okay, wait. Alright, guys, this is my next drop. It's with the collab. It's a collab with this guy called Switch, who was in MTV Hustle season 4. But yeah, this is a new sound I'm trying to work out. So let me know. Hey. Hip hop can be right. It can be about love.
Sure. Yeah.
This is about heartbreak though. Hi, this one's called Bharosa Parosa, and yeah, it's about disharmony in relationships because you know it's never always sunny, it's never always beautiful, but that's how you learn.
Parosa, Saramani, not toasted. Enough love. Up jump to Deku, I am not this. Cotton bird shy, I guess. I should have been a little bit louder. I took a lot of repetition. I shouldn't even given up the fucker. Down with the doubters, the powers, the kids, yeah. Yes, I've been on, cause you held a gun on me. Boy, was it fun to argue about who is right, who the win? So fucking dumb to have played your mom. You were
Keeping the score, but losing your core to ego and sin. रहती थी कोई सी बस चाहिए था तेरा तारीफ दिया था सब पता नहीं कब ये इज्जत भी बनी मरीज तुझे तो पहले ही रखा पर वफा की जगह था दगा करीब पर नहीं फर्क बनी सतर्क कुछ अकेले ही सीख अकेले ही ठीक कभी ना तेरे से मांगू मैं भीख You never let me ever speak पर जब भी से मिली थी रब को मिला था मेरे को जीत जो बनी डिफीट तेरी शैतानी की रीत की पता है कि नहीं ठीक सी है
don't ever compare me again to yours. I know, hey. Don't ever compare me again. This energy gotta go ahead.
Woo! Alright.
Hey.
I feel it. So vibe, guys. That's vibe.
Alright guys, next drop. It's different, it's experimental, but you never
It's
know.
pretty cool. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
I feel like Director G also finally buffing.
I'm bumping.
Alright guys, thank you. Big love.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
And now that's what we call it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Wrap.